She said, "You can't tell me who I can be friends with." I said, "Wouldn't dream of it." I just quietly accepted the transfer she told me to decline, blocked her number, and let her find out from my moving to London post. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I guess I should start at the beginning, right? My name's Alex, mid-30s, software developer for a decent tech firm. Nothing flashy, but steady work that pays the bills and lets me tinker with side projects on weekends. I've always been the reliable type. You know, the guy who shows up on time, remembers anniversaries, and actually listens when you talk about your day. That's how I met Emma 5 years ago. We were at a mutual friend's barbecue in this mid-sized city up north. Think rainy skies and decent pubs. She was a graphic designer, full of energy, always chasing the next creative high. I fell hard. She said I grounded her, made her feel safe in a world that felt chaotic. For the first couple of years, it was great. We moved in together after 18 months, got a cozy flat with a view of the canal. I supported her through everything. Her freelance gigs drying up during the pandemic, helping her build her portfolio, even covering rent when she was between jobs. I turned down a promotion once because it involved more travel, and she didn't want the distance. "We need to build this together," she'd say, and I'd nod, thinking, yeah, that's what commitment looks like. But cracks started showing around year 3. Emma got this new job at a design agency, and that's where Mark came in. He was her coworker, charismatic, always posting about his adventures on social media. At first, it was innocent. She'd mention him in passing. Mark had this hilarious idea for the campaign today. Then it escalated. Late-night brainstorming sessions at the office that turned into drinks. Texts lighting up her phone at odd hours. I'd see her smiling at her screen, and when I'd ask, it'd be, "Oh, just Mark sending a meme." I wasn't blind. I started feeling like the third wheel in my own relationship. She'd compare us subtly, nothing overt, but enough to sting. Like, we'd be out for dinner, and she'd say, "Mark took the team to this rooftop bar last week. It was so vibrant. We should do more stuff like that." Or posting photos from work events where she and Mark were side by side. Caption something like, "Creative minds think alike." Meanwhile, I'm the one planning our quiet weekends, cooking her favorite meals, being the boring, stable one. It got worse. I'd express concern, gently, never accusatory. "Hey, those late nights seem frequent. Everything okay?" And she'd snap back, "Alex, it's work. You can't be jealous of my colleagues." But it wasn't just work. I found out later she'd been venting to him about me. Stuff like how I was too predictable or not pushing her creatively. Emotional abandonment at its finest. I felt like a backup plan, the safety net she kept while exploring whatever this was with Mark. Flashback to last summer. My company offered me a transfer to London, better pay, lead role on a big project. It was a dream opportunity, but Emma freaked. "You can't take it," she said over dinner one night. "What about us? London would change everything. We'd barely see each other." I hesitated, but she pushed hard. "If you love me, you'll stay. We can make it work here." So I declined it. Sacrifice for the relationship, like always. Looking back, that was the turning point. She started pulling away more, spending weekends at her sister's that I later learned were with Mark. I'd sit alone in the flat, staring at the walls, wondering where I went wrong. I gave up so much time, opportunities, even parts of myself, to make her happy. And for what? To be treated like an afterthought. The disrespect piled on. She'd leave her laptop open sometimes, and I'd glimpse chats, flirty emojis, inside jokes that excluded me. One night, I couldn't take it. I said, "Emma, this friendship with Mark feels off. It's hurting us." Her response? Eyes rolling. "You're overreacting. It's platonic." But deep down, I knew it wasn't. The confusion ate at me, nights lying awake, replaying conversations, feeling undeservedly sidelined. I didn't yell or demand. I just internalized it, hoping it'd pass. Spoiler, it didn't. Things hit a boiling point about 6 months ago. I'd been suspicious for weeks. Emma coming home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine, her phone glued to her hand, notifications silenced around me. Then one evening, I borrowed her tablet to check a recipe, and boom, open chat with Mark. Not just flirty, full-on emotional affair, at minimum. Messages like, can't wait to escape this weekend, and Alex doesn't get it like you do. There were hints of physical stuff too, references to last night's kiss that made my stomach drop. I didn't explode. I waited until she got home, sat her down on the couch, and laid it out calmly. Emma, I saw the messages. What's going on with Mark? She didn't even deny it at first. Just crossed her arms, that smug look creeping in. So you snooped? That's mature, Alex. I wasn't snooping. It was open, but that's not the point. This looks like more than friendship. She leaned back, sighing dramatically. Fine. Mark and we've gotten close. He's been there for me when you've been distant. Distant? I've been right here, supporting you. Yeah, but emotionally? You don't challenge me. Mark does. He pushes me to be better, creatively. With you, it's just comfortable. Boring, even. Her words hit like a gut punch, but I kept my cool. So you're saying you've been cheating? It's not cheating if it's just emotional. And anyway, you can't tell me who I can be friends with. I'm my own person. Emotional? Those messages say otherwise. She waved it off. Whatever. A kiss or two doesn't mean anything. It's not like we're married. I need space to figure things out. Figure things out? While living here on my dime. Her eyes narrowed, that dismissive tone kicking in. Oh, please. You've always been the provider type. But Mark? He's ambitious. He's got plans, travel, starting his own agency. You're content with your 9 to 5. I deserve more than that. I sat there, processing her twisted logic. She was justifying betrayal by painting me as the villain for being stable. So what now? You're leaving? Yeah, I think so. I'll stay with Mark for a bit. We can sort the flat later. She stood up, grabbing her bag like it was no big deal. And that transfer offer? The one they renewed last week? Decline it. If you take it, it'll just complicate things more. We might still work this out if you stay and change. Change. You know, be more exciting. Less controlling. I nodded slowly, not arguing. Wouldn't dream of telling you who to be friends with. She smirked. Good. At least you're reasonable about that. Then she walked out, door clicking shut behind her. That night, I didn't sleep. The unfairness gnawed at me. Years of loyalty, sacrifices like turning down that first transfer, all tossed aside. She'd humiliated me, made me feel like a placeholder. But the real kicker came a few days later. She called, must have been from Mark's place. Alex, just checking in. You okay? I'm fine. Good. Listen, I was thinking, maybe this is for the best. You'll find someone who appreciates your simplicity. Simplicity? Yeah, not everyone wants adventure. But me? I do. Mark gets that. He took me to this underground art show last night. Mind-blowing. You'd hate it, right? And don't worry about the rent. I'll Venmo my share eventually. Oh, and block my number if you want. But let's keep it civil for mutual friends. Her voice was so casual, like she was discussing weather. The hypocrisy burned. She'd used my stability while chasing thrills, and now twisted it to make me the problem. Anything else? Nope. Just don't do anything stupid like taking that London job out of spite. It'd make you look petty. I hung up without responding. The silence after was deafening. I paced the flat, replaying her excuses. It's not cheating. You don't challenge me. I deserve more. It felt outrageous, undeserved. I'd been loyal to a fault, and this was the thanks? Confusion swirled. Had I really been that blind? But amid the hurt, a quiet resolve started forming. I wouldn't beg or confront. I'd just detach. Days blurred into a haze. I went to work on autopilot, ignoring texts from mutual friends asking what happened. Emma posted subtly online, a vague story about new beginnings with a photo of her and Mark at some cafe. It stung, seeing her publicly move on while I licked my wounds. I sat with the betrayal, the emotional abandonment, letting it breathe. No rash decisions, just processing the silence, the unfairness of it all. The next morning after that call, I made my move. No drama, no announcements. I emailed HR at work, reconsidering the London transfer. Available immediately. They jumped on it. Within days, it was approved. Better salary, central office, the works. I started packing quietly, sorting through our stuff. Her things went into boxes in the spare room, mine into suitcases. I didn't tell a soul. Not mutual friends, not family. Just handled the logistics. Notified the landlord I'd sublet or break the lease if needed. Transferred utilities to my name temporarily. Then, the big one, I blocked her number. Socials too. Clean cut. No farewell message. No good luck. Just gone. Internally, it was a whirlwind. Part of me ached. The flat felt empty without her laugh, even if it had been rare lately. Flashbacks hit. Cooking together, lazy Sundays, the promises we'd made. But the confusion was fading, replaced by clarity. She's shown her true colors, I thought. Why chase someone who sees you as a stepping stone? I focused on the positives. The transfer meant new challenges, a fresh start in a vibrant city. I hit the gym more, reconnected with old hobbies like coding personal apps. It was self-care, not revenge. A week later, everything was set. I loaded the car, drove to London, and settled into a temporary service department. That first night, staring at the Thames from my window, it hit me. Freedom. No more walking on eggshells, no more feeling like a backup. To let the world know, subtly, I posted on my socials, excited for new adventures in London, grateful for the opportunity. Neutral, positive, no mention of her. But I knew she'd see it eventually, through mutuals or whatever. And she did. The emotional weight lifted gradually. I'd sit in cafes, people watching, reflecting on the unfairness without bitterness. I deserved better, became my mantra. No outbursts, no drunken texts, just dignified silence. The arc was rising. I was building something for me now. Fast forward a couple of months. I'd been in London for about 8 weeks, settling into the new role. The city was a whirlwind, buzzing streets, endless coffee spots, and work that actually challenged me. I'd made a few mates at the office, started exploring museums on weekends. Life was good. Quiet but good. No more second-guessing myself every day. That's when the whispers started trickling in. Mutual friends, the ones who hadn't picked sides yet, began messaging me. At first, vague stuff like "heard about Emma?" I'd respond neutrally, not prying. But piece by piece, the picture formed. Turns out, Mark wasn't the dreamboat she'd painted. He was a mess, unstable job history, hopping from agency to agency, racking up debts from his adventurous lifestyle. And abusive? Verbally, at least. Friends said he'd belittle her in front of others, mocking her designs as amateur while using her connections to land gigs. It escalated quick. They'd moved in together officially after she left me, but it imploded. Mark cheated multiple times, apparently. One fling was with a client, which got back to her boss. Emma's reputation at the agency tanked. She got sidelined on projects, then let go due to restructuring. Without a steady income, she couldn't cover her half of their fancy loft rental. Mark bailed, ghosting her with half her stuff still there. Left her high and dry, evicted notice in hand. The irony hit hard. She ditched me for excitement, calling my stability boring. Now that excitement bit her back, hard. She ended up crashing on her sister's couch, scrambling for freelance work that barely paid. Mutual friends stopped defending her once the truth spread. We saw the posts. One texted me. Mark's true colors came out. Her online presence shifted too, from smug, new chapter vibes to radio silence, then desperate job-seeking pleas. I didn't gloat. Honestly, I barely thought about it at first. But as the details piled up, a sense of justice settled in. Karma wasn't some dramatic explosion. It was slow, relentless, like watching a house of cards topple. She discarded me like yesterday's news, humiliated me with those comparisons. Now she was isolated, broke, and irrelevant in her own circle. Friends who'd enabled her started distancing. She's changed, they'd say, but I knew better. It was the consequences catching up. The emotional weight of it all lingered for me too. I'd sit in my new flat, overlooking the city lights, reflecting on how far I'd come. The betrayals still echoed sometimes, those nights of confusion, feeling like I'd failed. But the silence I'd chosen, it protected me. Let her unravel on her own terms. It didn't take long for her to reach out. First sign was about a month into my London life. An email, since I'd blocked her everywhere else. "Hey Alex, hope you're well. Can we talk? Miss our chats." I ignored it. Then texts from unknown numbers. Burner apps, probably. "It's Emma. Please unblock me. I made a mistake." The attempts ramped up. Voicemails next. "Alex, pick up. Things with Mark didn't work out. He was awful. I see that now." Desperate, but still vague. Then her friends got involved. Toxic bunch, always backing her place. One messaged, "Dude, give Emma a break." She's going through hell. At least hear her out. Unpleasant, pushy, like I owed her something. Her family piled on too. Her sister called from a withheld number. Alex, this is ridiculous. Emma's sorry. You two had something real. Don't be stubborn. The entitlement dripped. No acknowledgement of the betrayal, just demands. I blocked them all, one by one. The real escalation hit via a long email chain. She'd created a new account to bypass blocks. Alex, I know you're in London now. Saw your post. Congrats, I guess. But seriously, we need to talk. Mark turned out to be a nightmare. He yelled at me over nothing, cheated with some intern. I lost my job because of him. Now I'm crashing at my sister's, scraping by on gigs that pay peanuts. Rent's due and I could use some help. Remember how you always had my back? I was wrong to leave. You were the stable one. Please, call me. I read it, felt nothing but detachment. No sympathy stirring. But she didn't stop. Days later, another. Why are you ignoring me? This isn't you. We had 5 years. Doesn't that mean anything? I admit it, I was smug. I thought Mark was better, but he used me. Dumped me like trash. I'm alone now, Alex. Friends are ghosting me too. Come on, let's meet halfway. I'll come to London if needed. The desperation peaked with anger. A voicemail from her. Fine, be that way. You're heartless, you know that? After everything, you just vanish? I bet you're loving this. Me falling apart while you play big shot in the city. Well, screw you. But wait, no, call me back. I didn't mean that. I'm just stressed. Her true colors shone through. The hypocrisy of begging while lashing out. Involving her pushy mom next, a text saying, "Young man, Emma's family expects better. She's crying every night. Fix this." Unpleasant as hell. I deleted it all, no response. The silence from my end. It was my power now. Months passed, about 4 since the move. I'd upgraded to a proper flat in Shoreditch, dated casually. Even met someone promising at a tech meetup. Work was thriving. I'd led a project that got company-wide praise. Emma faded to background noise. Blocked, forgotten. Then came the mutual friend's birthday. Virtual. A Zoom call since folks were scattered. I logged in for old time's sake. Camera on. Background showing my sleek setup with London skyline peeking through. Laughter, toasts, normal stuff. Until she joined late. Her face popped up, looking worn. Dark circles, forced smile. The chat froze awkwardly. Friends knew the history. She messaged privately first. Alex? Wow, you look good. Can we talk after? I ignored it, focusing on the group. But she pushed, unmuting. Hey everyone, great to see you all. Alex, congrats on London. Looks amazing. Thanks, I said flatly, keeping it brief. The call wrapped, but she lingered, requesting a breakout room. Friends awkwardly approved, probably hoping for closure. It was just us. Alex, thank God. I've been trying to reach you forever. I know. Her voice cracked. Look, I screwed up. Mark was abusive, controlling, cheating. He left me broke, jobless. I'm in therapy now, trying to rebuild. But I miss us. You were always so steady. Can we try again? I'll move to London. Whatever it takes. I leaned back, calm. Emma, that ship sailed. But why? I was wrong. I see that. You didn't deserve how I treated you. The comparisons, the dismissal, it was cruel. Please, give me a chance. Remember what you said. You can't tell me who to be friends with. I didn't. You wanted freedom, excitement. You got it. She faltered. Yeah, but it backfired. I'm desperate here. Help me out, at least talk. No, I've built something here. New job, new life. Without the drama, the manipulation. You're irrelevant to that now. Irrelevant. After 5 years. Exactly. Those years taught me what I don't want. Stability isn't boring, it's foundation. You've got your own path. Figure it out. Tears welled up. You're cold. I thought you'd care. I did once. Not anymore. She hung up, screen going black. The reversal hit her square, me thriving, her desperate. Friends messaged later. That was intense. You're better off. I agreed. Update, it's been weeks. No more attempts. I've moved on completely, like she never existed. If you're reading this, Emma, good luck. But don't reach out. To everyone else. Sometimes, walking away is the best revenge. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.